That's him.
Come right up. Fresh cabbage, carrots, onions, radishes. Everything you need for a proper soup.
I feel quite hungry.
Thief! Thief!
Look what I've got. You'll love this.
My horseradish, hotter than a burning
Jesus Christ. Take care.
Wouldn't they make a fine treat? Feel free to have a knock.
My respects.
Farewell.
So you did half the job at least.
If only. It took me 2 bloody days to figure it out.
Hey, who's there?
I have a few more.
Ask away, my...
Are there any sus?
Everyone is a suspect. You can...
I'll get working.
God be with you.
I'm at your service. Take care now.
Yeah.
How are you?
I've got those hides.
Now that's what I call quality. Here.
Couldn't you use some hide?
Aye, I've got an order from the monastery for hare hides. They make belts from them to ease. I shouldn't wonder if the old abbot wears.
Take care.
God save. How may I... Good luck then. This stinks to high heaven of as long as we can both agree on the price. Less. See now?
God be with you, Henry.
The Lord be praised.
Can I be of service to you, Sir Divish? I've heard talk that something is going on in Pribyslavitz.
Henry, you've come at just the right moment. I sent a man to Pribyslavitz, my locator, Marius.
What's a locator?
A land allocator. I charged him with checking on the condition of the settlement to see if we can start rebuilding it.
You're planning to resettle the village?
Yes.
Why Pribyslavitz, of all places?
Because it's been lying fallow and falling into ruin since it was sacked by Havelmetic years ago. It's about time that changed.
Well, it should be safe there now. We trounced that rabble on the battlefield.
Yes, and that's why I sent my master locator there. However, he should have been back long since.
If you've no objection, I could go and look for him.
I'd appreciate that. He probably just got delayed. But I'd be happier if you checked it out.
Good luck, then.
Yeah.
Thank you.
My pleasure. Sir Divish sent me to find you, and it looks like I arrived just in time.
God's truth.
I'm Henry of Skalitz.
My name is Marius Beleg, Master Locator.
Well, the outlaws are out of the way, so we can go and report to him, right?
Not just yet. Those bastards caught me as soon as I arrived, and so far all I've seen is the inside of the tent they tied me up in. I still have a job to do. Come along with me if you like.
Wandering around ruins isn't my idea of fun.
It's not meant to be fun. I have a serious... Don't go too far. I'll look things over, see what's what, and make notes. At least I'll get it done faster and won't be distracted.
What? By me?
I'll have to measure it out. That's essential. All right, Henry, run along. I'll catch up with you later. Check the water sources. Subsoil.
So, Master Locator, ready to start building?
There's a long way to go before that. The few ruins that are left are basically beyond repair. It's all overgrown with brush.
Oh dear.
We'll have to get it all cleared before we can start rebuilding it.
So it is possible to rebuild everything?
Yes, absolutely.
But building a whole village is no small enterprise.
We'll need timber, lots of it, which isn't a problem in the middle of the woods, of course. We'll have to hire wage labor to begin with. Quite a lot of men. I think we should get started without delay. There's a lot of work involved, but it'll be well worth the effort. I can just imagine it. The church will dominate the whole settlement.
Oh, that's good news. When will you inform Sir Divish?
Why wait? I'll head to Talmberg right away. But would you keep an eye on things here in the meantime? It would be rather embarrassing to run into more bandits when I return with Sir Divish.
No problem. I'll be right here.
It shouldn't take us long. My lord, welcome to Pribyslavitz. That is to say, welcome back to Pribyslavitz after all these years. Well, what's left of it.
Not to worry, Marius. I'm glad to be back in my old hamlet. Although, it seems to have aged about as gracefully as I have over the years.
I beg to differ, sir. It's quite dilapidated, unlike your good self, but at least it's safe now. Thanks in part to Henry here, who also saved me from a predicament that cost me valuable time. Who knows? If it hadn't been for him, we might not even be talking now.
Well, lad, in the end, you managed things in your own way, I see. Just as you said you would.
I did my best, sir. Well, to begin with, they wouldn't hear a word about letting Master Marius go. Of course, the clink of silver is the only language the likes of them understand.
They're a perfidious rabble.
True, sir, and greedy with it. They wanted a fat ransom and, well, I paid it from my own purse.
I appreciate your doing everything you can to ensure the safety of my subjects. I don't know how much you had to pay.
Sir?
Henry shouldn't lose out for doing the best he could under the circumstances. Here, this ought to cover the cost. Let's get down to the matter in hand, shall we? What state is Pribyslavitz in?
Sir, in my official capacity as locator, I am gratified to inform you that the hamlet of Pribyslavitz may be renewed. And indeed it offers prospects of considerable expansion beyond its former limits.
Splendid. Finally, some good news for this province.
And badly needed, too.
So, what have you discovered so far? I want to know all the details.
We had a scout around.
We conducted a basic survey, from which we can make a preliminary outline of the parcels. I already have in my head an initial plan of what can be built where.
We should certainly have a church. I'd like to preserve the existing one.
That should present no serious obstacles. The building is in much better condition than we anticipated. But extensive reconstruction will be required.
That's to be expected.
There's a stream here, and a well, right in the middle of the village.
Yes, and there are abundant woods around. Clearing them will provide both extra land and timber supplies that we can use right away.
Right now, I believe we're standing on the village green, aren't we?
The future green, that is. The village centre will comprise at least 6 large buildings to begin with. We can't fit any more than that here, so there will be other buildings away from the square, in particular more extensive structures.
I'm glad to hear it. I never expected you'd find so much space here in the middle of the woods. The building work we're about to engage in is only the first part of my plan. Later, we'll clear more forest for agricultural land and build more farmhouses. But for now, we'll have to focus on more sensible goals.
As you wish, my lord.
But rebuilding a whole village must cost a king's ransom, though.
It's true it won't come cheap. Before the tradesmen settle here and start producing and trading, it will be necessary to invest a certain amount of capital.
A certain amount? How much exactly?
I wouldn't venture to state a precise amount at this point, but I expect it will come to some thousands, even tens of thousands of groschen.
That much? I hope you're good at haggling.
We shall, of course, attempt to procure everything at the best possible price, but raising a settlement from the ashes you see around you is a costly business. Nevertheless, I can assure you, my lord, that if all goes well, the investment shall all come back to you with interest.
I hope I shall live to enjoy it, Master Marius.
A village isn't a village without villagers. You'll need new subjects. Even preparing the ground for building will need lots of labour. Where can we find so many people, sir?
You sound skeptical, lad. But it's a good question. I've already given it some thought. I've agreed with Radzig and Hanish that we shall make an announcement in Rattay to invite people to move here and help with the construction, which will bring them many benefits, but also obligations. In addition, I expect the prospects of a new home will appeal to your former Skalitz neighbors, more than a makeshift camp by the castle walls.
They'll be delighted, sir.
A splendid solution, sir. I've also been concerned about how to bring settlers here, but now it seems there will be no shortage of new inhabitants after all.
It seems things are finally looking up. We routed the bandits in battle, and Henry took care of the remnants. When can we get to work?
Right away, as far as I'm concerned. All we need is people and the necessary funds. And we'll need someone to keep order, at least in the interim.
True. I'll leave you some of my men.
If I may, I would recommend quickly appointing a bailiff to take responsibility for the renewal of the village, its coffers and its citizens.
True. First things first. Since you understand these matters best, you shall take charge of the land parceling and building works. You'll be available to the bailiff, but answerable directly to me.
I'd be honored, sir. Thank you.
And, as regards the office of bailiff, what about you, Henry?
Yes, sir?
You've proven yourself well. You've demonstrated that you're capable of solving problems, and you command the respect of your former Skalitz neighbors.
Well, I'm not so sure.
And you're also capable of maintaining law and order.
I must concur.
So, let us expedite matters. Henry, I hereby appoint you to the office of bailiff of the hamlet of Pribyslavitz, in my domain.
My lord, it's a great honour. Thank you.
You will oversee the initial renewal and administration of the village that will set the ground for further development. But don't imagine it'll be a bed of roses, lad. Being bailiff doesn't mean you can do whatever you like. If you don't treat the settlers rightly, I'll soon find out and relieve you of your office. Besides, we can't spare a single groschen from the Talmberg coffers now, with the province in chaos. So, you'll have to cover the cost for the building work from your own purse.
Me? But Marius said it would cost a fortune.
True, but from what I hear, you know how to get your hands on coin enough. So, I expect you'll manage it just fine.
I'd like to know who's been spreading such gossip.
And I am assigning you certain specific tasks. You must ensure the rebuilding of the church. That means complete reconstruction, wall paintings, and a new altar. See to it that in the future, the village will be capable of supporting a certain number of people. For that, you will need to ensure the construction of essential, and ultimately, the village must produce sufficient...
But, sir, I've never done...
I understand your concerns, but you'll be handsomely rewarded. And you have my permission to use the surrounding...
Well, that's, I mean... Are you sure I'm...
As you said yourself, Henry, it's a great honor.
Phew.
So, we're agreed. He'll make the announcement to invite settlers, which should ensure enough people to begin work. At the same time, your official...
I don't know what to say, sir.
I'm sure you won't disappoint. And now I must get back to my duties at Talmberg. Send word when everything is prepared.
Certainly, sir.
Farewell, sir. What now?
Before we can start building as much as an outhouse, we'll have to get the whole area cleared, and we'll...
Right. So I suppose I'd better get to Rattay first and see to that announcement.
Indeed. I'm sure the bailiff will be more than happy. It will get the refugees out of his hair. I'll stay here for now and start planning the building plots. As soon as the labourers arrive, I'll start allocating work.
Hear that? It's my road! I'll kick your ass out of here! Come on! Gone weak in the knees, have you? Bring it on!
you Melikar?
Aye, that's me.
I need to speak with the prisoner.
And why is that? Who might you be?
Henry, envoy of Sir Radzig Kobyla. I'm here to investigate the attack.
I'm sorry. I have other things on my mind right now. In case you hadn't noticed, we have pestilence raging here.
No one could have known what would happen.
If Sir Radzig hadn't pissed off into the woods and stayed in the camp, they would never...
If Sir Radzig hadn't gone into the woods, he'd have left so many to attack here that you'd never have fought them off.
Makes no odds now. We've a different...
If there's anything I can do, just tell me.
There's a stable hand living with us here, Matthias.
Yes, I know him.
And he knows some girl who helps out in the monastery infirmary. Johanka, I think her name is. If she's actually there.
Very well. I'll go to the monastery.
Thank you. At least for taking the trouble. But then, even if you cared nothing...
If I have to go to the monastery, I need to know as much as possible about the disease.
It's hard to say. My wife is feverish. Others still are breaking out in sores. But why don't you see for yourself? People talk...
Very well.
I've daubed lime on the afflicted houses. But don't stay too long in those holes. Take care now.
Hal? You're a sight for sore eyes. What are you doing here?
It's good to see you too, Matthias. Sir Radzig sent me here to investigate the raid.
Sir Radzig? Looks like you've come up in the world, mate. You're here as his envoy?
Yeah, something like that. But that's not important right now.
Well, I'm glad to see you have a job. Lots of our old neighbors have been reduced to begging. If I were in your shoes, I'd get the hell out of here. There's some disease spreading.
Disease?
Folk are saying it's the plague. Whatever it is, it's bad. It started the day after the raid.
Oh, damn! Are you alright?
Well, at least I haven't caught the sickness.
But you've been hurt?
It happened during the raid. One of those damn bandits fell on me, horse and all. My arm's badly...
Tell me about the raid.
What do you want to know?
I hear one of the raiders was taken captive. I'd like to question him.
Aye, old Melikar let him have it over the head with a flail, and now he's locked up in the barn. But be careful.
Why's that?
That fucker killed young Straw, and his old man's sharpening his sickle for him. Melikar still hasn't decided what to do.
I can tell you what he'll do with him. He'll hand him over to Sir Radzig's envoy. Me.
I doubt Melikar will let him go willingly. The folk here are baying for blood. Lives have been lost. First the raid, and now this...
I hear one of the...
Aye.
Why's that?
That fucker...
I can tell you...
I doubt...
Can you describe the raiders?
I don't know. They came at dusk, so you couldn't see their faces. About 20 of them. They weren't...
You talked to them?
No. They were shouting at us. They were very sure of themselves to begin with, but when we hit them in the woods, they didn't...
I know you've got courage enough for any man, but how did a bunch of untrained villagers manage to hold off armed...
One of the village lads caught sight of them coming through the woods and told Melikar, who roused the whole village, and everyone grabbed what they could.
What? You mounted an assault against them?
Aye, and that was the key. It was the last thing those whoresons expected. A few of them still managed to break through to the village, probably wanted to torch it. But even the women here were armed with what they could find.
About this sickness. When did this plague start?
The day after the raid. The horses were lying down in the stable, so we knew something was up. By afternoon, they were all dead. Then other animals started getting sick, one after...
What are the signs that someone's getting sick?
I don't leave the house much, but folk complain of fever and shakes. Some...
Has anyone died from?
Aye, old Verba. Although he was already on his last legs, so no one... Either way, the animals are dropping like flies.
Who's ill now?
I don't know. What with my arm the way it is, I don't go outdoors much. But I know Melachar and Straw has sick ones at home.
Can I ask you a bit about...
I haven't been here long enough to learn much.
Can you tell me something about old Straw?
He's a woodcutter, tough as they come, and a hothead. He's been out of his mind since his...
It's normal to grow...
Depends how you look at it. Folk are afraid he'll snap or drink himself to death. What's worse...
Where can I find this Straw?
When you take the main gate out of the stables, you'll see 2 cottages outside. Straw lives in the right-hand one.
What's Melachar like?
The locals look up to him. Smill used to be in charge here, but he was killed in Neuer.
I know.
Sir Hanush hasn't had time to appoint a new vassal, and folk need someone to speak for them.
Since when do subjects govern a village in place?
What can we do? If it weren't for Melachar, though...
What's Melachar like?
The locals look up to him. Smill used to be in charge.
I know.
Sir Hanush has...
Since
what can we do?
Where does Melachar live?
When you take the main gate out of the stables, you'll see 2 cottages outside. Melachar lives in the left-hand.
Can I ask you a bit?
I haven't...
What? Have you come for my wife? You're out of luck. I'm old Straw, don't you know? Straw! You've taken my son. But you shan't take my wife. You bastard.
I've come to help your wife.
To help her over to the other side. Isn't that God's own truth?
I'm sorry that they killed your son. I truly am sorry. But if you don't want that disease to take your wife, you'll let me see her right away. I can help her.
I don't...
There.
Ah?
Something like that.
Then go.
Fever.
Christ almighty.
Just like Melachar's wife.
I can't stand it anymore.
Fever. Just like Melachar's wife.
Hey.
them, men!
Om Ekterglas! Ekterglas!
Hal?
It's good to see you.
Sir.
Yeah, something.
Well, if I...
Disease?
Focus say...
Damn! Are you alright?
Well...
But you've been... Tell me about...
What do you want to...
I hear one of...
Aye.
Why's that?
That fucker...
I can tell...
I don't...
Can you describe... You talk to him?
No.
I know you've... What?
Aye. A few of...
About this... When did this...
The day I have to...
What other signs?
I don't...
Has anyone died?
Aye. Either way.
Who's ill now?
I don't know.
Can I ask you...
I haven't...
Can you tell me?
He's a...
That's normal.
Depends.
Where can I find...
When you...
What's Melikar?
The local...
I know.
Sir Hanush?
Since when...
What can we do?
Where does Melikar...
When you take...
Yeah!
Jesus Christ.
Have you got a bed?
Aye. For how long?
Just the...
All right.
Here you are.
You'll like it here.
Where do I go?
On the upper floor of the inn. The second door. Take care now.
I'll be right back with that.
Look what I've got. You'll love...
Look what I've got. You'll love. Yeah.
Henry!
I don't know if you've heard about it, but Merhoyed was attacked.
Oh God! How is...
Wounded in the arm. He's being brave about
I...
Before you go, there's...
What?
Some kind of disease has taken hold in Merhoyed. I thought maybe someone here might know what...
Merciful heavens. How awful. It's a good thing you've come here. If there's any hope, this is the place to find it. He may know how to deal with it.
Very well. I'll...
Come back when you know more.
Thank you, Johann.
God bless.
Some kind of disease has taken hold in Merhoyed. Johanka said that you might be able to advise.
A disease, you say? How intriguing.
Yes, it's very interesting, but can you help these people?
I can't say at this point. I need to find out a little. Tell me, has the whole village come down with it?
No, I mean, not yet. Several households have, around half the village.
Merhoyed? Isn't there a stud farm there? And what of the animals?
Yes, there's a stud farm. And they've all died off. The horses, the cattle, chickens, and now it's got to the people.
That is most intriguing. What are we to do about it? Do you know the symptoms?
Yes, more or less.
Excellent. I have several extensive volumes here in the library.
Yes, I can.
Excellent.
So, where shall we start?
Evidently there's something amiss in the digestive tract.
In the what?
The digestive tract, Henry.
Right.
The trouble lies between the mouth and the arsehole.
Uh-huh. Sure. Just so.
We can rule nothing out at this stage. You look in the Breviarium de Sickness Causa. It's a renowned manuscript from Salerno.
But I don't know Latin.
Fortunately for you, our brother librarian is translating these momentous medical works into the common tongue. Study the breviary carefully and compare the symptoms with the recorded cases. I'll try the proven classics, Avicenna and his Canon Medicinae, and Galen's magnum opus, the Ars Medicinalis.
Goodbye.
There's truth in the old saying. monasterium sine libri est sicut civitas sine opibus. A monastery without books is like a town without wealth. Could it be? No, probably not.
Can't. I just can't.
A peculiar case. A peculiar case. Whatever can it be? Febris e causa ignota.
Can't. I just can't.
Yes, that would make sense. Whatever can it be? Febris e causa ignota. It was around here somewhere.
I think I have it.
Yes?
Take care.
A peculiar case. A peculiar case. Yes, that would make sense.
I think I have it.
Yes?
It's poisoning from tainted water.
Really? That sounds rather unlikely. But if Master Johann of St. Paul's says so, who am I to contradict him? We shall have to prepare some medicine at once.
I could help with that.
Really?
Yes. I know my way around the alchemy.
An ordinary fellow who knows the arts of physic? Who would have thought it? Excellent. I'll give you the recipe.
I'll get started right.
I, meanwhile, shall head straight to,
Merhoyed.
Oh, yes, Merhoyed. I'll take Johanka with me.
Thank you, brother. There's one man there who needs your care more urgently than anyone. He's an important witness in the investigation of some murder.
Out of the question. I shall spend time with the sick in order.
Would you teach me more?
Certainly.
I'm interested in more.
Wouldn't you rather learn
Well, I'll...
See you later.